the 6th straight knockdown Monday here on FS1 as the inaugural PBA playoffs from Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine rolls on, and 75% of our quarterfinal field is set. Top seed Jason Belmonte survived a roll-off in week 3. He faces Chris Prather next Monday. Also on that show, it's Anthony Simonson versus the lowest seed left, number 21, Andres Gomez. On the other half of the bracket, Wes Malott, the Big Nasty, and Bill O'Neill advanced last week. Tonight, 2 more matches coming your way. Sean Rash taking on the young gun, Kyle Sherman. That one later, but first up, it is Dom versus the Duke, and we're getting closer and closer to our semifinal and championship match coverage right here from Portland, Maine. First weekend in June, live on Fox. Once again, thrilled you're with us. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson. They like to tell you age is just a number, right? But when that number is 55 and you're out on the tour, week in, week out, on the road, taking on these young guns with their high rev rates, and you're succeeding, you, my friend, may have just found the fountain of youth. And right now, Norm Duke is the Ponce de Leon of the PBA.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. I mean, at age 55 and what he's done this season, winning back-to-back weeks in Indy and Jonesboro against these kids is incredible, Rob. In fact, he told you and I that a few weeks ago in Vegas, during the Masters, he rented this huge house with all these young guns. And all they did every night was gravitate towards him, ask him questions every night. He hung out with them, and he said, you know, they made me feel young again. Norm makes this crowd feel young as well, and I'll tell you what, he is the fan favorite here. But one thing's certain, Norm Duke knows that this ride isn't going to last forever, and he's enjoying every second of it.
He's got Bayside Bowl right here in his hand, which leads us to his competitor tonight, Dom Barrett. Be very interesting to see how the Englishman handles that.
Dom Barrett is an international superstar and destined for the Hall someday. Just an incredible player. I love this man's game. It just looks so effortless, Rob, like efficiency of motion. It's like he's taking a stroll through Hyde Park carrying a bowling ball. He also has a finesse game as well, and we saw that in his first match. Going up against Duke tonight, however, in this atmosphere, well, it's going to be very interesting to see how Dom handles that.
Take a look at our head-to-head matchup, and Norm Duke, one of just 4 to have won multiple titles on the tour this season. Dom's best finish to date, 4th place.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 14 seed from Colchester, England. Give it up for Dom Barrett. He'll be facing the number 3 seed from Claremont, Florida, Norm Duke.
Let's join the 3rd member of our team, Kimberly Pressler.
Norm, we have seen this pattern attacked a lot of different ways. You just took a few practice shots. How does it match up to your game?
Well, I hope they all match up to my game, tell you the truth. But no, I got to look, he's got to look. We're going to throw haymakers at him. Both of us want to win this playoff, so it's going to be a good one right now.
It is definitely going to be a good one. Thank you so much for your time, Norm. So, Dom, what is it like going up against the legend that is Norm Duke?
Norm's been one of my idols since I was a kid, a long time ago, and he's a great bowler, and he's had a really good year as well. One of the best years I've seen him have since I've been out on tour. But that's kind of irrelevant now. I've just got to go out and do my own thing, and hopefully everything works out for me.
Well, you got a job to do. Good luck today. Guys, we're going to send it to you.
You and I have really been looking forward to this one, Randy. Again, this is a race to 2 points. You win a game, you earn a point. If we're tied after 2 games, we go to a 2-frame roll-off to see who wins that all-important 2nd point. And here's a look at the PBA Playoffs oil pattern, sponsored by Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep your car running newer, longer.
And both Norm and Dom Barrett are going to be playing just about identical lines on this Don Cotter 39-foot oil pattern. They're going to be going pretty straight right here between 1st and 2nd arrow to start, maybe that 8-9 board, and then as that pattern breaks down, which it should quickly since they're playing the same area in the lane, they'll start to migrate in.
Why do you feel this has been a good setup for Norm here? Not so much on the tour, but just here tonight.
This pattern allows him to go straight. And you don't have to stand against the ball return and hook sixth arrow. Norm is one of the greatest ever at going down and in. And so he's able to do that, and he will do that tonight.
Dom's got plenty of fans here as well. We know the crowd's going to be chanting Norm all night long, but Dom is one of the best, kind of one of the best kept secrets on the tour.
Just so physically gifted, can do anything to a bowling ball. I asked his ball rep earlier, Sean Ryan, why he chose to go straight and not hook it. He said he didn't like the middle part of the lane.
Duke's first shot. Matching strikes.
And Rob, what we're going to have to watch for is because both players are playing almost identical lines, the lanes are going to change faster. And it's going to be up to the player that is able to stay ahead of the transition. I think that's the player that's going to come out victorious as we take a look at Norm from profile and the 10-pin party in the pit.
Talk about staying ahead of the transition in your eyes. Who's better at that between these two?
Well, because Norm has a lower rev rate, it's going to affect him less. But a lot of times it's not so much who's better, it's who's better at guessing. Got it inside a target, and it went right through the nose for 5.
Good going, Mike.
3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Norm Duke is going to try to get his ball over here to the right side of the 3-pin, throw it over here into the 4-7, and the ball will take out the 6 and 10. And that's tough because you lose count too. So Norm Duke with that big open in the second, and Dom Barrett looking to take advantage of it here in game 1.
That is an uncharacteristic second frame from Norm Duke. Opening double from Dom. Here's how Dom got here. Opening match. Took care of Mr. Miller. 237, 187 at 8 strikes. Won that one by 50 pins. Which got him here to the round of 16 versus 3-seed Norm Duke.
He knew where to sign the board.
Yes, he did. Unlike our good friend Andres Gomez, who I think has about 3 to 5 signatures somewhere all over the board. Stand-up triple for Dom.
And that's pretty straight there. 8 to 6 and back. Supersonic is his orb of choice. Oh, good shot. Early deficit, Rob. 36 pins. And that's if he converts the 10-pin.
He's been rolling for about the last year or so with that tape on the inside part of his right elbow. Told me it's golfer's elbow, but it's not the result of golf. Golf just happens to trigger the problem.
Anything like tennis elbow?
I just kind of looked at him and I guessed. I said, I assumed. But then again, when you're 55, I think you probably just want to wrap your whole body in tape, and probably makes it feel better.
Isn't it just like tendonitis?
Yes. And the only thing...
And then he calls it that because he really likes golf?
Right. The only thing that's going to help it, time off.
Yeah.
You know what Norm doesn't give himself?
None.
Time off.
Yeah. Oh, Rob wanted so bad to make the call on that 4th consecutive strike, but not to be. 95% of the time, the 10-pin hammered into the pit. So
So Dom remains clean. Opening trio of strikes, followed by that 9 spare.
Black Widow pink for Dom Barrett in his arsenal. He also has a plastic spare ball. We saw him use that on the 10-pin.
Back on the strike train.
Yeah, he's got a great line to the pocket and a lot of hand, and just slapping the 10 silly on that shot. 6 to the sidewall. Good night, 10-pin.
Join the party. Four strikes in his first frames. Dom takes a seat. Here comes Norm. Hall of Fame inductee in 09. 10 years ago.
Amazing. Locked in on that right lane, Rob.
3 in a row on the right lane. Left lane, not so much.
Left lane's the bugaboo, right?
For 2 for strikes on this left lane. Sorts it out. Finally. You can hear the crowd kind of jump up a little bit when Duke finally finds the strike. But so far, it's been the Englishman, Dom Barrett, running away from the Hall of Famer. Will that continue next on FS1? Norm Duke up. Finally able to get a strike on that left rein, but he's down early. Time now for this week's Ebonite Flashback. Let's focus on the ageless one, Norm Duke. 2019 Go Bowling PBA Indianapolis Open, taking on Belmo. Took care of him, 237-219, his 39th career title. You can see how much it meant to him, but he wasn't done celebrating. A week later, Jonesboro, Arkansas. The Hall of Famer got win number 40. Crushed Anthony Simonson, 212-164. Only 4 on the tour have won more than 1 tour title this season. Belmo leads the cast now with 4. You're going to see Jason soon. He is your number 1 seed, already advanced to the quarterfinals. Nick Allen, Norm Duke, Jacob Buttroff on that list. Norm sitting right now, watching Dom Barrett to see if the Englishman can continue to pull away, up 25.
I just wanted to add that Norm's back-to-back wins were both on dual oil patterns, which makes it even more impressive. You can see by the red line that that was about a board and a half inside of target. And the result is a 4-pin.
Is that a missed shot, or was that
It was
a planned move?
No, a little tug.
Dom remains
4 pins. All right, to cut it to 14 and then 4. Needs to throw 2 here. The 2-time Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year award winner, 94 and 2000. Oh, he hates it.
Boy, he looked away immediately, didn't he? Is he looking at our cameraman Charles over there? Is he? He's not blaming Charles.
No,
is he?
he threw it. He just threw it bad.
Nobody blames Charles. They chant Charles' name here.
Yeah, no, this is just a bad shot out of commercial.
But he was looking at Charles for, hey, help me out here, Charles. What'd you see, Charles?
Come on.
Charles, you see anything, man? Yeah, no, Charles is shaking me off. He said it all looks good. .610 conversion. Gets that one.
Well, that's too bad. He could have made game 1 very interesting.
There's Charles. Charles, that strike shot look good? Everything all right, good.
Oh, Charles, you're the best.
They have chanted his name, I think,
yes,
just about every week here.
He's a star here in Portland, Maine.
They're starting it. They're just about to start it
They
again.
love him.
What's not to love? We are so fortunate to have him on our crew, by the way.
We really are. I've been with Charles for a long time out here. There you go, Norm. How many times have we seen it throughout these matches come down to just execution?
Starting to figure out that left lane after those early issues in open frame and a spare. Since it's been strike. Who's looking at Norm, right? That's kind of creepy. That's Norm looking at creepy. Norm's giving Norm the stink eye over there. There you go. The 4-pin goes down that time for Dom.
Look for Dom to make a move left now. Last 3 shots have all drifted a little heavy.
I'm a little leery. That view kind of alarms me.
That you're talking about that right
Yes.
there.
Yes, I am. We're moving it. Now there we go.
That's better. Yeah, at least we can see both eyes.
You saw who moved that sign, Donut Man.
Donut Man.
Yeah, Call Troop's best buddy here in town. And another pair for Dom. Really needed it as Norm was starting to put the pressure on, creating some breathing room between the living legend. Again, this a race to 2 points. The winner of our opening game gets 1 point. Should you win the first 2 games, you automatically move on to the quarterfinals. If we're tied at 1s, we got a 2-frame roll-off. Later tonight, Sean Rash, Kyle Sherman. Another pair for Norm.
Yeah, he needs to strike out. If he does, he shoots 222. And that will force Dom Barrett to mark in the 10th frame.
Yeah, Norm is far from done. Not just tonight, but as far as his career on the PBA Tour is concerned. By the way, Norm tearing it up over there on the PBA 50 Tour as well.
Yeah, it's like printing money when he goes out on that tour. And there's a lot of really good bowlers on the PBA 50 Tour.
Gets another. Tightening things up. That's 3 in a row. Again, that open frame in the second. A little bugaboo to this game for him. Come on, make a mark. 3 1/4. Kicks it down for a ham bone. You betcha.
How about that messenger for the 55-year-old? Well, that makes Dom Barrett have to mark in the 10th. He's going to try a different ball here and look at something else for game 2, but check out this messenger, Norm.
Got the head pin doing a sliding tackle on the 10. Sure was. What a finish here for Norm. 4 straight. 5 strikes in his last 6 throws.
Yeah,
He takes the lead.
He tried a different ball on his fill shot just to get a little different picture. We'll see which ball he decides to go with in game 2. Right now, Dom Barrett just needs a mark in good count. Interesting that Norm didn't take a re-rack in the 10th frame. Normally, Norm likes to make his opponents wait a little longer and think about it. He could have dumped 2 re-racks right there and made Dom sit another couple of minutes. Dom Barrett did take one. boy. That wasn't even fair. And it looks like Dom indeed has moved a little left. He's going to take game one.
1 of 2. Pretty impressive performance, oh, by the way, from Dom Barrett here. 3 9 spares. Everything else has been a strike until that moment. So, game 2 coming up. Norm must win or he goes home, and you can bet Barrett's going to keep the pressure on here in tonight's opening match at the PBA playoffs.
Details, details.
That's right. Dom Barrett with a pair of triples, 7 strikes total. He dropped to 236. So Norm down 1 point to 0. Speaking of Norm, he's part of our Columbia 300 Fun Facts at age 55. And a surprise to nobody, he is the oldest player here at the PBA playoffs. Dance with who brought you.
Yep, staying with that same one.
Barrett started with the opening 3 in our first game. And another strong start for the Englishman.
Check out Dom Barrett. Now this is his finesse game, so he's not going to have as much load. Check out a little bit of the cup wrist at the top of the swing, but not as much load in the downswing. As you can see, normally when he's hooking it, he'll have a lot more bend in that elbow. But he's going straighter, so he doesn't need the same load, and that's how he reduces revolutions. Oh, he's moved in on that lane.
2 in a row to start for Dom.
Get a number from Strike Track as to how many boards left he's moved, but we could see overhead that that shot there was actually inside of second arrow. So a good 3-board adjustment or move for Dom Barrett on the left lane.
Nothing but strikes except for 1 spare in game 1 on that right lane, and another strike there for Norm. Nothing but strikes so far here in game 2.
So after his win.
Yes, sir. Which win?
After his win in Indianapolis.
Right, because you have to clarify which win it was this season for Norm.
After his win in Indianapolis, on that show, I said something, and Norm came up to me at the start of this event, and he said, I thought your statement was brilliant. Now, keep in mind, I've never had a player come up to me and say that anything that I've ever said was brilliant, right? He says, I said, Norm, what did I say? And he said, hang on, wait for it.
Opening triple for Norm.
He says, you said on the telecast that Norm's time has come and gone, and pretty much everyone believes that except Norm. And he says, I want to tell you thank you. That was the truest statement I've heard you say in a long time.
I like it, but I'll tell you what, I think it's actually untrue right now, because I don't think those on the tour think his time has come and gone. I think they are still living in the current of his success rate and what he's done, and he is still an absolute threat on the tour. For how much longer, I don't think any of us know.
Okay.
But we're enjoying the ride that we're on right now with Norm.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Listen, no doubt about it. Listen, I'm not trying to take a thing away from arguably one of the top 3 greatest players of all time. But no one expects you to be a dominant force at age 55 on this tour.
100%.
Especially when this is a power game and it's all about speed and rev rate.
Not just 55. If we said he was 45, we would still be surprised and still be applauding him for what he's doing.
Rob, run down the list of the dominant players on tour. The top 3, Jason Belmonte, highest rev rate, 2-hander. Jacob Buttripp, he's got almost as high a rev rate as Belmonte with his thumb. Then you've got E.J. Tackett, pound for pound, the strongest strike ball on tour. This is power, power, power. Norm Duke doesn't have that power. He doesn't have that power anymore. But I'll tell you what, he sure does have the savvy.
He's got the smarts, he's got the experience.
The dual pattern situations on both of his wins really helped him because he outsmarted everyone and figured out a way to get it done. And right now he's looking to even this up. He's committed to the ball he started with, even though he looked at a different ball on his fill shot in the last game.
Had a wandering eye for a moment, but came back to who he danced with, and that's why.
Nice break.
Norm with the first 4 here. Should he or any other bowler on tonight's show roll that perfect game, everyone in America, Randy, can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To claim your free game, all you need to do, head on over right now to gobowling.com and register for the Go Bowling Free America promotion.
One of 2 players to win both the U.S. Open and Senior U.S. Open, the other being PDW. Oh yeah, Norm Duke, front 5, looking to tie this up. I love that he stayed committed to the ball he started with. And now he knows it's just all about making the shot and catching a break or 2. Oh boy,
Left the 10. And it's happened twice to him already.
yeah, pretty fast going through that pocket. And it's all right. Back-to-back 10 pins on the right lane for Dom Barrett.
Cleans it up. Still without an open frame here in this round of 16 encounter with the Hall of Famer, Norm Duke. But it's a 31-pin advantage for Duke. Rash Sherman is your next matchup. Kyle Sherman. Kid Dynamite. Set to take on Sean Rash, who's quietly, in an underrated fashion, has had a really nice, strong season. Got a bye as being in the top 8 on the PBA playoff point.
Here, Dom Barrett playing kind of in this zone. This is the right lane, and Norm Duke is actually just a little bit inside that. You can see clearly there the paths the balls are making on the blue oil.
So Duke is up. He is minus a re-rack that he took during the commercial break. Never seen that before.
Never seen what?
Taking a re-rack during a commercial break.
Well, he didn't like the rack on that lane. It wasn't like, you know, he was...
It wasn't a timeout that he was trying to catch. You know,
no, he looked at the
100%.
rack and said, yeah, I don't like this rack. And
He doesn't like the 10-pin right now.
you hate the 10-pin.
I do.
You've made that perfectly clear throughout the playoffs.
Yes, sir. His perfection, his race, his chasing 300 is over. Cleans the plate.
And one of the greatest spare shooters the tour has ever seen, Norm Duke. I believe, was it the match against Belmonte in Indy when he made the 4-9? Yes, it was.
Norm can max out at 279. Up 30 as we start the 7th. But Barrett is working off a strike.
How about Norm Duke 5th in earnings this season?
I mean, nobody saw this season coming.
I saw that coming on that lane. That left lane is starting to curve. And we saw it with Dom Barrett, but the big move that he made. And so the left lane has really transitioned quickly.
Who does it transition in favor of right now?
Well, you would think Dom Barrett. because he's got the higher rev rate, and the more you have to move in and give the pocket away, that's going to favor a higher rev guy. That doesn't mean that Norm can't strike on that lane. Norm's going to make the move now, and he sees it. He sees the transition, and as long as he can get that weak 10 out, he's fine.
Dom looking for his second double here of game 2. I think that was a shoe problem?
Not really sure. Something didn't feel right throughout his approach. Let's take a look.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's about as late as you can go without letting go of it. Oh, he's moved in on that lane too. That's not the straight ball he's been throwing on that lane, and the reason why is he keeps leaving 10 pins. So now he decides to move in and create some angle.
3-6-10, converted 80% of the time on the tour.
Well, that's a big mistake.
Too far left.
This late.
Yeah.
Come on, dickhead.
Good news for Dom is he gets another shot on this right lane to try to get lined up, so he'll make an adjustment off of that high shot.
But the damage may be done here.
But we could be looking at overtime.
I'm going to say we are looking at our 2-frame roll-off.
And he'll make another move off of that. But I mean, this is the beauty of Dom Barrett's game and what he's able to do. Remember how straight he was throwing it to start, Rob? Now all of a sudden he's curving it, and he can curve it a lot more than that.
Picks that one up.
All right. That was good.
So a 9 spare in response to his open frame 9 pins in the 7th. Dom can now max at 217. Norm in control, up 41. Must have this one to force that 2-frame roll-off. And a berth in the quarterfinals. Jason Belmonte's there, so is the Big Nasty, Bill O'Neill, Andres Gomez, Anthony Simonson, Chris Prather. One of these two will join that list momentarily. Again, it's a race to 2 points. Dom got the first point with a 236-222 win. Norm trying to get his first point, which would force that 2-frame roll-off.
Pins, 2 frames. This should be all she wrote for Norm.
1 mark.
And
1 mark.
He should be guaranteed a 2-frame roll-off.
Oh, Messenger.
Save that one.
Oh, this head pin took its time.
Well, at age 55, the Messengers are a little slower.
Norm Duke fights back, locks up game 2. So while Duke and Barrett finish up here, we're going to take a quick break. Meet you right back here for the 2-frame roll-off to decide who goes on to the quarterfinals. Will it be Duke or the Dominator here at the PBA playoffs? All tied up here in tonight's opening match, so it's time for a roll-off between Barrett and Duke. Ring that bell. Here's PBA Deputy Commissioner Kirk Von Kruger.
Ladies and gentlemen, by PBA playoff rules, this match must be decided by a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. Dom Barrett will begin the roll-off on the left lane. He'll bowl 1 frame. Then Norm Duke will come out and bowl 2 frames, once on the right lane, once on the left lane. Dom will finish the roll-off on the right lane. There's a maximum of 60 pins at stake in this roll-off. Good luck, bowlers.
Well, in both of our matches last week, we saw roll-offs. Malott taking care of Buttroff in an upset. O'Neill taking care of Svensson. So the roll-off theme continues here in week 6. Dom up first on the left. Money ball!
Yeah, that was beautiful. He finally got one to push far enough down the lane and not go high. And it looked like he did it a little bit with his hand. That was pretty sexy.
Sure was. All right, Norm, what do you got?
Can Norm get the corner pin out?
Got the 10 pin out.
Boy, that looked pretty good, too.
Not the 4-7.
Good shot. All right, move back to the right on this line. You get another shot at it.
See, that's how Norm's mind works. Move right if you get another shot at it. Norm, you're not going to get another shot at it. You're going to go to the left lane, and you're either going to win or lose. But that's the mind of Norm Duke. It's always firing, always processing.
And he shifts over to the left. So Barrett will sit and watch and know what he has to do to get the win.
Come on.
How quickly things turn here at the playoffs. All the momentum for Barrett in game 1. The story changed. It was all Duke in game 2, and now here in the playoffs, suddenly Norm with his back against the wall.
Yeah, he liked that one.
Sure did.
Well, the math is if Norm strikes out, he'll shoot 50. That'll force Dom Barrett to get 2 in the 10th frame.
You can get 2 right here. You get 2.
Oh, no, left the 10.
Well, like I said, if he can get the corner pin out. Yeah, this is a good one here. Guy's going to need some help from Dom Barrett. This is important. Okay, he covers it. So Dom Barrett strike first ball on the right lane, and Dom is going to eliminate Norm Duke. If he does not, we have the possibility of another roll-off. If Dom Barrett goes spare strike in the 10th frame, we'll have another tie.
All right. Memorize it.
Strikes here, it's over.
Dom just took a re-rack as well to give himself some more time to compose and think about this.
Well, he's only struck one time on this right lane before the start of this roll-off. Last game was 1 strike on the right lane.
And it came in the first frame.
First frame. Look at this. We could possibly have another roll-off. Now, he has to convert the 2-4.
And then strike.
And then strike. You're so good at this math stuff. You said you weren't. I love it.
I have a cheat sheet here that I work off of. I listen very intently to what you have to say. Must convert this, though. And he does.
Now, what's the move?
Come on.
Does he move right and throw it the same? Does he stay where he is and just give it the business, give it some more hand at the bottom of the swing? Does he make it try to come around the corner with power? It's going to be interesting to watch this next shot.
Come on.
All right. A strike or Dom is done. Looks good. Messenger, the love tap. We got bonus bowling. Oh, my.
God, it looked like it was going to be a weak 10, and then all of a sudden, something came flying across and knocked that 10 out.
Diving header into the net. We're tied at 40s. It's now a one-ball roll-off. One more look at the Messenger going low to finish this one off.
You see the six pin just lay dead there in the right gutter. But the head pin came across and took the 10 out. Wow. And Norm Duke gives him a 5er. Now, Norm being the higher seed, he gets choice of starting lane and position. He's going to start on the left lane and go first and try to put the pressure back on Dom.
That's a fortunate 9, to be honest with you.
It really is. Now, Dom Barrett has to follow him on that left lane. If Dom strikes,
Match or do better. Strike is the winner.
yeah.
Come on.
Needs a strike for the win. Barrett moves on.
Wow. That was fortunate, sir.
How good was that? How good of a match was that?
It was a great match.
And it's an upset. The 14 seed Dom Barrett upsets the Hall of Famer and living legend Norm Duke with this shot.
Boy, that could have been the bucket real easy right there. And just enough of that 1-3 pocket to carry the light swisher for Dom Barrett.
So Dom heads to the big board, adds his signature to make it official after knocking off one of his idols here in tonight's opening match. 7 of our 8 quarterfinal spots now confirmed on the bottom half of the bracket. Wes Malott, Bill O'Neill now joined by your 14th seed, Dom Barrett. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, back here with you. This week's Go Bowling with Randy segment talks about the importance of a pre-shot routine. What is it, my friend?
Well, I mean, they call it routine for a reason, Rob. And, you know, you just get in the habit of doing the same things over and over again. And there's really no right or wrong routine. You know, whether it's doing a visualization, visualizing the shape of your bowling ball going down the lane before you step up on the approach, doing everything before you're on the approach, wiping your shoe, then grabbing your ball, looking down at your spot where you're putting your feet, looking at your target, and then going. As long as it's the same each and every time. The reason why this is so important is because in pressure situations, you go back to your pre-shot routine, takes your mind out of thinking about things it shouldn't think about, and it's much easier to handle the pressure.
Just like taking a free throw in basketball,
Absolutely.
taking a penalty kick
Right.
in soccer as well. Got to have those routines. Also, routines help with young kids.
Yes.
Or so I've been told.
Never helped me.
Yeah, I need more routines with you, my friend. Apparently, when we return, Sean Rash and Kyle Sherman meet in our race to 2 points. One of these two will move on to fill out our quarterfinal bracket. Rolls on from Bayside Bowl here in Portland, Maine. Just one quarterfinal spot remains. We just saw Dom Barrett upset Norm Duke in that 1-ball roll-off after the 2-frame roll-off. Now, Dom will be joined by either Sean Rash, who's won once this season, or Kyle Sherman, whose best finish this year, second place.
The number 11 seed comes from O'Fallon, Missouri. Please give it up for Kyle Sherman. The number 6 seed from Montgomery, Illinois, Sean Rash.
Kyle, you already have a playoff win under your belt, but how different is the pressure coming into the round of 16?
Oh, it's no different. You know, it's the same mindset as the last game. You know, we have the lane, the pins, that's my job, and hopefully I make 10 good shots.
All right, thank you so much for your time. And Sean, this is the first time that we are seeing you in the playoff shows since they started, so you have had a lot of time to watch the action. What have you learned?
The biggest thing is just trying to gather as much information as possible, what left lane's doing compared to the right lane, and go out there and make some great shots, bowl myself the best I can, and see what happens.
Anything specifically jump out at you?
That fill-in frames are very important. You know, this game is very, very tough when you miss spares on yourself, and it is what it is. So
Absolutely. Best of luck to you.
Large discrepancy in experience between these two. Rash up first. He's won on the tour 13 times. Randy, 2 of them majors. This is his 14th year on the tour for Sherman. Never won on the tour. 25 years old. Rash up first. Up to 10.
I find it interesting that Kyle Sherman says, no added pressure, no more nerves, same as last round. Just going to go out there. And that's a great mindset to have.
Do you buy that?
No. You know, it's like the professional boxer who says, I'm going to go in with this game plan, and then it works until he gets hit.
Everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the face.
Right.
Sean Rash has delivered many a blow through his PBA career. So he sits down with a 9 spare. Kyle Sherman, Kid Dynamite, finished second at the PBA Cheetah Championship at the World Series of Bowling earlier this year. Put his hands up immediately. Yeah, pressure. Maybe you're seeing it right now.
And Rob, I just say that because of his inexperience. I mean, he has to feel it. You know, I used to interview Walter Ray back when he was making a show week in and week out. He was well over 100 telecasts in his career. And you know what Walter Ray told me? He says, I still get nervous.
If you don't get nervous, I think something's wrong. People ask me that same question. Hey, do you get nervous in front of the camera? And I look at them, I go, yeah, most of the time there's something floating around in me.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I'm going to vomit on myself, but it's just a little butterfly that's out there that sparks you, that keeps that drive going. That nervous energy is what people need. And I think there's some nervous energy right now in that smile that we're seeing in Kyle Sherman. You know, trying to laugh it off, smile it off. Look, he's got a winning smile. Nobody's saying stop smiling. But I think he realized early that he's in a dogfight here. And now he leaves double wood.
Very fortunate that the 10 fell late. But I mean, if you're not feeling that, Rob, where's the fun?
You're dead inside.
Right? The pressure is what makes it fun in our business, in front of a live camera, and in sports.
One other note on Sherman. Look, we're not piling on. We're big fans of this kid. I think he's got a tremendous future, a great upside. But he said, yeah, I just want to get 10 good shots. You're going to need more than 10 good shots when you're fighting for 2 points.
Right. You're going to need 10 good shots a game. But we've seen throughout the playoffs how quickly things change. The roll-offs that we've been a part of, it's been a real roller coaster.
Sure has. Boy, this PBA playoffs, I mean, week in and week out, you watch your first game and you go, oh, well, clearly this is what's going to happen. And then the storm clouds move in.
Vapor zone for Sean Rash.
His first strike and first strike of this first game.
9-time member of Team USA.
Former PBA Player of the Year as well. Won that double show earlier this year, Matt Ogle in Oklahoma. What's funny about you reflect back on that doubles championship. Ogle, that story of, hardly ever on the tours, never won, never made TV. And it's Rash, who's like the blubbering baby. Yeah. When the victory happened, he was just so happy for his partner. Back-to-back jacks for Rash.
Rash has got a great line to the pocket. He's very confident right now. He knows that if he just throws a decent shot, it's going to get to the pocket. Remember, when pros miss, they don't miss by a whole lot. And when they do, it's very seldom. But you can see he's actually left of third arrow to start this opening match against Kyle Sherman. Almost another big four. So high on the right lane, light on the left lane.
Okay, Kyle's a young kid, 25.
Yeah.
You take him aside right now.
Yeah.
And you tell him what?
Like right now before he throws his next shot?
Right now. Put on the brakes, Kyle.
Kyle, look at throwing a different bowling ball. And look at a different part of the lane. We saw Norm Duke and Dom Barrett play farther right to start the match. And maybe that's something you look at. It's almost like he's trying to mirror Sean Rash or stay to the left of him. As there's his arsenal, diesel torque. And pretty aggressive. And it also looks like it's got some surface on it as well. You can see the dullness.
Diesel torque. That's a great name for a pickup truck, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you and I might want to trademark that later tonight. And
well, I think EBI has already trademarked
Are they?
Well, actually, I think you can use it for a truck. Again, another reason why you got to look at something different. Now he finally hits the pocket and he doesn't strike. So all these things factor into the decision making.
And he's got that smile too of what's happening here. Sorry, nobody told me it's going to go like this.
You know, Rob, we've heard so many players throughout this season talk about, it's a process. You learn how to make match play, and then from there you learn how to make a television show, and then you have to learn how to win on TV, right? It takes time.
He's to the point now where he has to learn how to win on TV.
Correct. And this 1-game matches, 2-game matches. I mean, you talk about learning on the fly.
Right. Norm Duke has done a lot of learning. He lost in our last game, but he's standing by with Kimberly.
So, Norm, you fought really hard in your match, but didn't go the way that you wanted it to. But your 2019 has been pretty amazing so far. So why don't you give us a little summary about it?
Yeah, I've won a couple of times before in a year, Kimberly, but not at 54. So the longer, the more time that elapses, the more I come to grips with what I accomplished. So in one way, I'm really, really excited, and I'm excited also to continue bowling because I have other tours. The league is coming here. But when I look back, it has been very special, and the crowds and the way the fans have treated me, I'll never forget it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the PBA League because we're going to see you back here in July.
Yeah, we just had the draft, and July 15, 16, 17, we're coming in, and the Dallas Strikers are going at it. We got a great team again. I just know we do. We can win. And it's what jacks me up more than any other event in the year is the PBA League, so I can't wait.
Well, I know that I am looking forward to it, and I know this crowd is looking forward to it. So congratulations. We'll see you back in July.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Let's enjoy the rest of the playoffs.
I just have one thing to say to Norm. Thank you, Norm Duke, for everything. Oh, boy. Trip that 4-7 out.
Strike number 3 here for Rash. The lead at 24.
Yeah, this is a nice little break coming off the ring 10 on the right lane. But Sean Rash has thrown 5 quality shots here, and all 5 have hit the pocket. Just a pinch high. 4-7-10 goes late.
Kyle Sherman could use one of those strikes right about now.
Yeah, looking for his first strike. Solid 9 ring 10, last 2 shots. I would be looking at another bowling ball or a different line, or I'd be looking at something different. I don't have a strike through 5 frames. Open in the first. Last 2 shots were pretty good, and I have nothing to show for it.
We got a commercial break coming up soon, so you know he's going to be getting together with his tour reps and probably discussing just that. Well, Sherman may be off to a slow start tonight against Rash, but let's not forget how he got here. There was that takedown of DJ Archer in round 1 of these PBA playoffs. Awfully impressive. Stepped up in the 10th, shut out the veteran with a pair of strikes to end up winning it 203 to 182.
You know what we call that? Half a loaf. We got 5.
Kind of caught.
There's 5 pins, Rob.
You understand?
Get my steps in here, running back and press.
Half a loaf. That's the bucket with a 7 pin.
Half a loaf.
If we see him throwing the same ball when we come back from commercial break, I'll be very surprised.
You're going to go down there and take it out of his hand. Yeah! Boy, he needed that one. Oh, did he need that one? Yeah, sit, hydrate, regroup. Yeah, head on over to your tour reps and discuss some things, because so far, Sean Rash is running all over Kyle Sherman in our first game in our race to 2 points. Rob, Randy, Kimberly back here with you in Portland, Maine. It's been tough going so far for Kyle Sherman, but your hammer tough spare replay just before we went to break, giving him some hope, some optimism, as that 7 pin was dropped in the pit late. So Rash is up 30 as he gets set to close out the 6th.
Yep, and pays for it. Worst thing you can do, especially out of commercial breaks, you've got your opponent on the ropes, right?
Correct.
He's doing the rope-a-dope, and the last thing you want to do is give him any hope.
Open frame. Take a look at our track technique.
Sean Rash has always had that big high backswing, and that cupped wrist at the top of the swing is kind of his trademark. He's added a step the last couple years, and there's the unhinging of the wrist that creates power at the bottom of the swing. Well, he liked that one, and he should have, but that ball was DOA on arrival. He leaves a flat 10. 4.5 to the right of his last shot on that lane, and result is 9.
Gets the spare there. So an open frame spare out of the commercial break for Rash. In that commercial break, guess what happens? A new ball arrived for Kyle Sherman.
He's not using it.
Baby steps. It's there. You think this move should have happened 2 frames ago, 1 frame ago?
Well, I think it should have happened at the very least now.
All right, strike number 1 in the 7th.
Well, he's deeper than Sean Rash and creating more angle. Yeah, there's the ball that was brought over for him, and it's on standby.
Yeah, 1 is the loneliest number.
That was a bad shot.
Good.
Grabbed it, missed left, 3-10 split. You know what we used to do back in the day when we were using a ball that wasn't behaving properly?
Kick it?
We'd get another ball out of our bag.
Throw it out?
No, we'd literally get another.
Slam it against the wall?
Listen.
Drive quickly on a van and throw it off the interstate?
Forget it. I'm not telling you.
I'm giving you great ideas.
I'm not telling you now.
You should have done all of those things.
2 open frames now.
Kyle's going to just have to move on from this game and start focusing on game 2.
He's at 160 pace right now.
It doesn't matter how big you win or lose. Game 1, you've always got a second in your back pocket. Rash is running away with this one right now. But he's had his struggle since the commercial break. There's an uplifting strike for him.
It was really only one bad shot. Everything else has hit the pocket for Rash. So you want to know what we used to do? You don't.
I do. I just nodded at you. I want to know, Randy. All right. Please tell me what you used to do.
So we would take another ball out of one of our bags,
right,
and set it on the rack next to the ball we were using.
Okay.
And then we would continue to throw the same ball. And then one of the guys would say, "Hey, why did you take that other ball out of your bag and put it on the rack if you're not going to use it?" And the answer was simple: to intimidate the other ball to straighten out.
I'm glad you gave us that story. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I smiled. Thank you. That was good. That's actually what I was going to say. If that wasn't the answer, that's what I was going to tell you. The answer should have been
pure intimidation. Nice shot here by Sean Rash. Well, Sean Rash will take a 1-0 lead.
Oh, look, the intimidation has worked. New ball in hand. Sherman on the right lane. There's a double for Kyle.
Yeah, but now we're going to have a match.
In our next game.
In our next game. So his zone on the lane is pretty much the same with a different orb. And the ball reaction is completely different now. The motion's different. I think that was a bad shot. I think it was fast and to the right.
That's at least closer.
Remember the last time on that left lane when he threw a shot that hit there? He got 5.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I'm not going to hit this pin, so don't boo at me.
And that, Mom and Dad, that was not a spare attempt.
Mom and Dad Stone.
All right.
Kyle done with a 175. Strike for Sean. Rash running away from this one. He'll take our opening game in our race to 2 points. But Sherman looks like he's maybe figured things out. That better be the case to force a roll-off. Game 2. And a berth in the quarterfinals next. Last game, 227-175. Rash closed out with 5 straight strikes en route to the 52-pin win. Kyle Sherman went to a less aggressive ball with the Triton Elite. And he starts game 2, a must-win game for Sherman.
Didn't you once kill a man with a Triton?
You've been all over the Anchorman references lately, by the way. Did you watch that flying out here?
I watch it every chance I get.
That's a good one. Gonna go suit shopping a little bit later?
Yes. Suit shopping. 93% tour average on the 7-pin.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite Will Ferrell movie?
It's between that and Step Brothers.
Okay.
Talladega Nights is really good, too.
Sherman with the spare. Real quick for you trivia buffs out there, for those that study the relationship that you and I have.
Yeah.
The underrated Will Ferrell movie that the two of us have a passion for, particularly when we can watch it together,
yeah,
would be
semi-pro.
100%. 100%.
Opening strike for Sean.
Great shots.
Nice shot here by Rash to start game 2.
Better shot by our cameraman, Charles.
That was beautiful, Charles.
Sean Rash took the first game, earned that first point. He wins this one, he gets 2 points, and he's off to the quarters. Otherwise,
The roll-off. Pretty good shot there for the 4-pin. Expect Sean will move a little bit left with his feet the next time up on the left lane. You know what they say about Charles Montgomery, our handheld, right? Best handheld in the business.
I'm going to leave it at that. I'm walking away. Charles, I have too much respect for you. I'm not going to follow up on that one.
What are you talking about? It was a compliment.
I know it was.
All right, let's see what Kyle Sherman can do. Made the ball change late in game 1. Managed a double.
Well, it took him into the 7th frame to get his first strike in our first game. And the hunt continues here in our second.
The execution might be an issue tonight for young Kyle Sherman. Excuse me.
Really remarkable that Kyle Sherman is even out here bowling right now with this type of level of success, coming off that hip surgery that he had not too long ago. And you know, his goals coming into the season were just, I hope I can finish a tournament.
Yeah.
And then he made a show early this season. He said, okay, well, that took care of the second goal, which is, you know, now I can compete. Now the goal is to win.
Yeah.
Get that elusive title on the tour. There's that strike. Comes in the 3rd frame. By the way, if you like Kyle Sherman, then what's not to like about him, right? If you want more Kyle Sherman in your life, if you gotta have more Kyle Sherman, you know where you go? Go to YouTube. He and his doubles partner, Brad Miller, they've got the Brad and Kyle channel on YouTube. Every time we pump that channel, they get more and more subscribers. It's getting to the point, I think you and I deserve a cut.
You're not getting yours?
Shots. Rash unable to cut down the 10.
Oops. Yeah, just kind of another quitter 10 for Sean Rash. He's been all over the pocket. I think he only missed the pocket once, and that was in the 6th frame of game 1.
So Sean starts strike and then 9 spare, 9 spare. 1-pin game.
It's his 4th 10-pin tonight.
What does that tell you?
I mean, it just tells me that the ball's not going through the pins the right way. It may be rolling out just a bit. So it's just a little soft entering the pocket.
Are they chanting Tootsie Roll?
I think they're chanting Tootsie Roll.
I bet you used to dance to that song. I know I did.
So Sean's in that. Yeah, I never danced to Tootsie Roll, my friend.
You did. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to my face.
Only when I was by myself. Sean Rash has got a little dilemma going where he goes half 10 on the right lane, 4-pin on the left. And we used to say back when I was on tour that one of the worst things that you could have going on for a right-hander was when you went weak 10 4-pin. That meant that you were not going to bowl a good game.
We're all even here, folks.
Handcuffed as our status
YouTube. That was the Brad of Brad and Kyle. Have you gotten his autograph yet?
Not yet.
I mean, they're YouTube stars.
A little more love here. Come on.
Brad right now, since he's not rolling on television, relegated down to the cameraman role as part of their tag team process, chronicling their exploits on and off the PBA tour. I think you and I, Kimberly, might have made a show or two. Another strike. Three in a row for Kyle. He's figuring things out here. That's the happiest he's been in that chair in a while. Don't get too comfortable.
He makes the ball change. He was asking for that last shot to hold off, and what does it do? It does exactly that. What does that tell me? What does that tell you, Rob? It tells us he's in the correct bowling ball now.
Some pressure on Rash. Gets the 10-pin to drop.
Wow, he really put the good touch on that to finally get that weak 10 out. But it almost looks like you could see him giving it the business right there at release, like he gave it a little more hit. And that ball comes around the corner finally to take the quitter 10 to rest. All right, he can cut it to 10 with a strike here.
We'll see more of Sean in July with the PBA League here on FS1.
Oh, man. See, and I just think his carry stinks. He's hit the pocket a boatload. Now, game one, he only left it 1, 2, 3 10 pins. That's probably too many.
We talked with Kimberly earlier about the importance of having clean matches, avoiding potholes. Kyle Sherman was driving through every pothole he could find in Portland in game one, but he has since pulled off, gone the highway route. He's got a lead here in game two. Plenty more from Portland coming your way next week. The quarterfinals will finally be upon us, and the best bowler on the planet will kick off the show. Jason Belmonte taking on Chris Prather. Andres Gomez, after a pair of upsets, has Anthony Simonson. After a dreadful first game, Kyle Sherman has figured things out right now. He's got 3 straight. And he's looking to add some meat to his score line.
Rob's mad because Kyle Sherman
I'm mad at the 10-pin.
Yeah.
Sick of these 10 pins.
I understand, but that ball hit pretty flat. And Strike Track is telling me that was 2 boards right of target or break point, Brett? Break point? 2 boards right of break point. His break point's down at about, what, 40 feet, 42 feet, 45 feet.
More camera work there from Brad Miller. Well, it looks dialed in focus. You think Charles gave him some pointers?
No.
No? Maybe. Hey, up-and-comer camera guy. Yeah. Why don't you try white balancing something? Oh, nice soft focus there, pal. Charles isn't looking for anybody to take his job.
Exactly.
Sherman on the left lane. After that 9 spare.
Boy, that ball wiggled. Yeah, it almost looks like he has to get it out of his hand perfect to get it to the pocket. And this is what's so crazy. I mean, Sean Rash now is trailing by how many, Mike? What's the count? $17. Sean Rash hasn't missed the pocket this game. In fact, Sean Rash has only missed the pocket once in 16 frames.
Sherman remains clean here in game 2. He must win this one to force a 2-frame roll-off. Randy. So far here in the round of 16 at the PBA playoffs in Portland,
Yeah.
Maine, only twice have we not gone to a roll-off.
Well, Sean is trying to make it 3 times. And I look for him to make another move here on this left lane after going 4-pin, 4-pin, but then he followed up with ring 10, so he's probably okay now. He's going to take a re-rack, I believe.
They will chant for anything here in Portland. All right, you order onion rings. Onion rings. Onion rings.
Yeah, let's go.
Like a refill of that water. Refill water. Refill water. Would you turn down the air conditioning a little bit? Change the temperature. And Rash. Back to back for Sean. Oh, he felt that one. That looked different. That smelled different. It felt different. And that's a punch in the gut of Kyle Sherman.
Well, it's game on now, and young Kyle Sherman is feeling more pressure than he's ever felt in his young career after that double. Again, Sean Rash has only missed the pocket once all night.
All right, Kid Dynamite, what you got here? Stand up to the bully or back down. Gets himself a strike of his own.
Very interesting pin carry on that last shot. I mean, there was like 5 pins standing at once. Watch this, buckets up. There was 5 pins on the deck. Well, that was a light one that was very fortunate to carry all 10. Now, max score Kyle Sherman, 245. Max score Sean Rash, 238. Big shot here. If Kyle strikes here, he can't be shut out. If he doesn't, he can definitely be shut out. Winner of this match takes on Dom Barrett. Right
through the nose. He's the 3-6, converted 90% of the time on the tour. Really needs to pick this one up. So he'll sit until the 10th. Sean Rash will close out his second game. He can max out with a 238.
A double and 9. Sean Rash is going to knock Kyle Sherman out of this event. First time ever PBA playoffs coming down to the 9th and 10th. That's got a hook. And it does. One more, Sean Rash. And then 9, and he punches his ticket to the quarterfinals.
Earlier tonight, you saw Dom Barrett, the 14 seed, upset 3 seed Norm Duke. Sean Rash trying to fend off the young gun, Kid Dynamite, Kyle Sherman. Oh, get down! Get in your home!
What a break for Sean Rash. You know, you got to ask yourself, what's he thinking? Remember earlier in the season when he missed a 10-pin?
That video is not paused, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was a battle with gravity. And the pin almost won.
He's bowled almost flawlessly tonight. He needs 9.
And he moves on to the quarters. He gets 10.
Wow. What a performance. What a performance.
Channeling his inner PGW right there.
Free beer! I'll tell you what, he made this pattern look pretty simple in terms of getting to the pocket, and with a little bit more carry, it would have been a slaughter.
2:27 in game 1. Improves it by 10 here in game 2. Our quarterfinal field has been confirmed. Love this chant. Absolutely love this. You're going to see a lot more from this kid. You're going to see a lot more from him in the coming months and in the coming years. Sean Rash has just taken over the camera. They were chanting Miller for Brad Miller, the cameraman, for their YouTube channel for tonight. Sean, I got it. Turning the tables on things. Just love this. Just love this tour. What is not to love about the PBA? Go ahead, tell me. I'm waiting. Rash moves on for the win.
Let's go! Come on! Elite 8, where you at? It's my time! You want it? Go get it! Hey, I mean, he took advantage of that great break there in the 10th frame when he tripped out the 4-7 and then the 10 fell late. But I'll tell you what, that was a solid 2 games he put together.
He wanted it, and he went out and got it. Quarterfinals confirmed. Next week we begin our Elite 8 coverage. Belmo Prather and then Simonson Gomez next Monday, 9 Eastern, right here on FS1. Earlier tonight, Norm Duke, the expectations of this wonderful fountain of youth type season came to a close here, at least at the playoffs, courtesy of the Englishman, Dom Barrett. And they did it in dramatic fashion with that 1-ball roll-off. And then Sean Rash stole the show. A 2:27 and then a 2:30.